And welcome into my live stream. Welcome back for all you return viewers. And if you're new, please leave a comment down below. As you've seen, I've already put the chat up. We have Joe, we have Toro, who was here last week. Welcome back. Keith Bennett, welcome to a live stream. Finally. Just messing with you. Let's see who we have here. Yep, Keith made it. Eric, welcome back. Yes, I saw that too. I was actually in the thumbnail, which was kind of cool. For those of you who don't know, Aaron Parecki is a popular YouTuber who does videos on live streaming, and he actually asked for some of his subscribers to send in videos of, them saying congratulations on his 20,000 views, which turned into 25,000 views or subscribers, turned into 30,000 subscribers, and he finally got it out. So I was actually part of that video. Joe says hi. Eric says hi back. Bob Carpenter's in the house. Oops. Sorry, chat jumped. Where's Unky Joe? Joe says hi, blah, blah, blah. Yes, so today's stream is all about RTMP and how you can use Nginx to receive that and then convert it to HLS. And we'll get to that in a little bit. So let me keep saying hi to people. Tony's in the house. Welcome. Waiting on 2 things I ordered for the pie. Curious, Keith, what did you order? The lip sync's off? I am trying the new OBS version. So let me adjust my audio here for a second. You can actually do that by going into the audio process or audio settings and adjusting. Am I ahead or behind, Joe? And yes, everyone drink. If you don't know, Unky Joe is a streamer and he has a thing where you have to drink every time the chat jumps. Probably overload the microphone on that, but sorry about that. Audio is ahead. I wonder why. How about that? 10 milliseconds. I put the delay of 10 milliseconds. Probably not enough, but again, I'm trying the brand new version of OBS. I'm also trying it in studio mode, which is slightly different than I did last time. Studio mode is great because it's more like what I'm used to with a preview screen and a on-air screen. So actually, for me, I feel more comfortable with it. But because it's a new version, something's probably not jiving. I use a Logitech webcam, and then I'm using this kind of cheap condenser mic from Amazon through a USB preamplifier, and that's my usual setup. I need like 500 milliseconds. Oh, damn. Okay. Do I have to change scenes? I don't think I do. But here. Is that any better? Now I'm at 500 milliseconds. Yeah, 500 milliseconds. But you can all calm down. I'm a trained engineer, so we can figure this out. This is one of the... I could probably remove the chat for a second. So this is one of my favorite shirts I have. I have several broadcast engineering shirts. One of them is calm down. This one, I'm a trained engineer. The other one is I'm a professional broadcast engineer, so let's just assume I'm right. 500 milliseconds seemed like it was too much. I'll admit. I'll do like 400. And I apologize for this. I don't know why it's off compared to previous weeks. So now the audio's ahead. Okay. Well, like I said, I put it to 400 milliseconds now. And Tony says it's perfect. So Tony's got perfect lighting, and I got perfect audio. We're all good. So a couple updates and a little war story for you guys before we get started. I'm still slightly not over, that COVID stuff, so if I have to pause for a drink or whatever it is, you know why. Why is that off the screen? Let's just take that. There we go. So, COVID thing. I completed my first week as interim head of technology. It was an interesting week. Pretty good, actually. What was not so good was on Friday, we had a leak in our boiler, and the water went from the second floor boiler down to the first floor and started ruining edit bays, which is always fun. So then we thought we had it fixed, and then on Sunday morning at 4 a.m., my phone rang, and it was the station saying, "There's more water." So I got to go in at 4 o'clock on Sunday morning with maybe 3 hours of sleep, maybe 4 hours of sleep, and do it all over again because there was water coming out of the system. And where the water was leaking from was in a part of the system that didn't have shutoff valves. So I basically had to shut off the whole system and then find the low point in the system, took up a hose. I ran the hose out the side door and then drained the entire heating system just so that it would stop leaking from the point in the system where it was leaking. That was fun. So then I hadn't planned on going in that morning for our live remote we were doing, but because I was already there, I decided to stay there and help with the live remote. And we had more issues than I can remember. I mean, we had issues that I hadn't planned for. We had done tests. We had done live shot tests on locations from the remote and had everything pre-configured. It was ready to go. And yet, not so much. We had issues with the drone being converted from HDMI to SDI using a decimator product. It was putting out the wrong format. It was outputting 720p instead of 1080i. We had issues where we actually combine two shots into one and create what we call a mux and then send that back to the station. And the mux was breaking up. So both shots that were on this mux were just breaking up randomly. No idea why. It was a perfect signal. It had been tested. It was breaking up. We had issues with closed captioning where the closed captioning company had called in to provide our, mandated closed captioning, and it didn't work. And so yeah, it was one thing after another, and it was crazy. So and I was actually supposed to be at church running audio, so I had to call church and let them know that I wasn't going to be there. I ended up making the second service and running audio, but I had to miss the first one. So let's go back to the chat and so we go back to chat here. Hold on, let me put it back on the screen. Videos now. Oh, sorry. Perfect now. Great. Eric says troubleshooting is fine by him. Yeah, Toro and Eric Water's bad. Keith said he's getting a new M2 argon case. Oh, I have seen those before. Those look pretty cool. I would love to see what you think of those. Tony says he's looking forward to tonight's stream. He has an Nginx RTMP server running. Yeah, the HLS is it's pretty easy. You might actually kind of laugh when you see how easy it is to make it work, but we'll get there. Eric says I'm not a trained plumber. I don't think I'm a trained plumber at all. I just used, some common sense and figured out how to drain a system. Which I will tell you was interesting because it's the heating system and the heating system was on. So that water that was leaking out was hot, and then I had to reach underneath and to the little valve and turn it. So my hand was getting dumped with hot water, so it was, fun stuff. Yeah, it was very busy. There should be a name for those live remotes where you test, ta-da! Yeah. Oh, I always said a couple words. Pretty sure I'm not going to repeat them here, but I said a couple things. Yeah, Keith, I just started running audio at one of our bigger churches in the area. They have a Yamaha CL3, I think it is, board. All Dante based, which is great because we use Dante at work, so I'm very familiar with the concept of Dante. At work we use an SSL audio board, but they use a Yamaha, but it's still basically the same stuff, just different layout to the things. I've done this is my third weekend as serving on the audio team, and I chose audio there at the church because it's different than what I do at my day job. I do audio and video at my day job. However, I don't ever get to mix bands, and I don't ever get to mix live sound. So I do front of house audio. They have an audio person for their online and television component of that, but I'm not doing that. I'm just doing front of house audio because it's actually fun and cool, and they do a lot of cool stuff. And I've learned a lot already, so I'm looking forward to going back whenever I can. But the next couple of months is going to be kind of busy with sports, and my wife loves Halloween, so we go to haunted houses a lot, and then we have some other functions tied in there. So basically, I can't run audio again there until like Thanksgiving. You hear some other audio source. You probably actually hear my fan. There's a fan over there. This office is kind of warm. I'm guessing you hear the fan. If you don't, let me know. I only see one audio source, but we will see. Yep, I was literally in hot water. That's one way to look at it. Yeah, the SSL board is probably 3 years old, maybe now 4 years old. It's an System T console. Um, we've really never had a whole lot of issues with it. Unfortunately, it runs like an embedded Windows XP or Windows 7 or whatever, so we have to reboot it like once a week. Other than that, it's fine. Um, Pretty cool board, with motorized faders, virtual layers. So you got like 4 layers of faders. Um, could probably do a video on that if you guys were interested. It's kind of high end, but you might be interested in it. Oh, never mind. It was you. Okay. Halloween's on a Monday. You could dress up. No, I'm not gonna dress up for a live stream. um, what could I do though? We actually celebrate Halloween in my town on Saturday night, and we have plans to set up a canopy and a fire and be out there. We're actually on a dead end street, which is great because we could actually kind of like set up in the street a little bit, and there's no one to interfere with. Um, but because we're on a dead end street, people actually skip our house, so we actually have to like go out front and kind of be visible. Otherwise, people just skip our house for some reason. I don't know why. We're only one house over. It's not like we're far off the road, but we're on a dead end street, so we'll just kind of walk up and turn, and then it's weird. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I could ask them. I would probably ask for permission anyway, but I definitely don't see them giving any sorts of issues with that. They actually do some YouTube videos where they do behind the scenes stuff and like distribute it amongst themselves, like for training purposes. Um, but if I wanted to go in there and shoot something, I'm sure they wouldn't mind at all. But I will ask. I know I could do one at work if as long as I don't show call letters. I could do it at work as well. Maybe I do like a high end audio video, or live stream sometime. Hold on. So anyway, I am now all caught up in the chat. So let's talk about the topic of tonight's actual stream, or tonight's actual topic, I should say. Um, and that is Nginx, RTMP, and HLS. For those who don't know, Nginx is a web server platform, just like Apache is. RTMP is what I'm using right now to stream to YouTube. And then HLS is HTTP live streaming. It was developed by Apple, and it's a way to store live video on a website in a really, really simple way so that basically any web server can actually serve up that content. And what it does is it chunks the stream up into little video segments like 3 seconds long, and it stores them as a transport stream file. And then when you click on the live stream, you actually click on a playlist file that just simply points to those chunks. And that playlist is constantly being updated as as more chunks are written, old chunks are deleted, and it basically makes you just let you join right at that point. One of the things that HLS is used a lot for is web pages and and streaming. The reason why I actually got into this whole project was because I wanted to stream a video source from somewhere else to my house and watch it on my TV. And the easiest way I could figure out how to do that was actually to make a Roku app for my TV that viewed an HLS stream, because Roku, at least at the time, only supported HLS. So I made a Roku app that could view an HLS stream. Then I had to figure out a way to convert something to HLS, so I configured an Nginx server to be that RTMP to HLS converter, and so that's what we're going to do tonight. Before we go any further, I see some more chats. We could cut up. Tony says he does have a similar sippy cider, set up a fire. Yeah, I'll probably have a hard cider. That sounds nice. I actually had a wine earlier, but it's all gone now. Yeah, I do 720p. I am not going to stream or build a whole 1080p setup or do anything like that. The computer I'm actually using is a little old Dell Optiplex, so I'm not sure how much it can actually handle. And I'm definitely never going to go 4K. It's just a talking head and a demo channel. There's no reason to do 4K. Um, Even Aaron Parecki actually agreed with that yesterday. I was kind of laughing when he said that. Yep, HLS uses the .m3u8 extension for the index file or the playlist file. 15 seconds. Is that what HLS has, or is that what my stream has? Or is that RTMP? Tony, I'm not quite sure. So anyways, let's go with the demo. And so what I did first was I have a I built a basic Ubuntu server, and so it'll be actually, that's the wrong window. So let me log into the right window here for a second. What are you seeing right now? Okay, so that's my that's my server. I need to actually log into this. Why did I have this up before? Please stand by. I should get a technical difficulty slate. So if I change sources now, you could see my terminal screen. So this is basically just a plain Ubuntu server, or Ubuntu, however you want to phrase it. And so the first thing we got to do, and this is actually 22.04. So the first thing you want to do is you want to install the Nginx RTMP mod using this command. And it'll ask you, do you want to install all the dependencies? Of course, you want to do that. So once it does all this,
for next time, you have technical difficulty.
For those who couldn't hear, my wife just made me a technical difficulty sign so I could put this up. Now my camera's frozen? Is that what I'm seeing? Well, this stream's just full of issues. What is wrong with my webcam? Can you still hear me? Looks like you can. My webcam completely disconnected. Okay. Well, that's weird. What is going on here? Did my webcam just die? It's a Logitech, so I sure hope not. They're nice cameras. Okay. That's a new one. So this is the perfect time to use my new post-it note, please stand by, that Haley just made for me. So there we go. Boy, that was weird. How's the lip sync now? Is it better or worse? Because I have power cycle the camera now. It may be different. So let's go. Anything in the... Oh, that's funny, Toro. I like that one. Yeah, it's been a interesting 24 hours. We'll put it that way. So HLS doesn't sometimes add legacy or latency. It should be upstream source. Well, HLS kind of can add latency because you have those chunk files, and if you jump in either at the end or whatever beginning of a latency or a chunk file, you could actually get behind, from what I understood, because the playlist, you could actually specify, and we'll get to this in a second, how long the playlist is, and then how long each chunk is. So I believe you can actually get behind at least a little bit in terms of latency. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. Yes, it was a Logitech USB mic. Good that the audio is spot on. Well, hi, hun. My wife decided to join the channel. This is definitely the place to be. Everybody else is here. And as, you know, I think Joe said earlier, what is it? Like the stream. Looks like we have 9 viewers, 12 views. I don't know. I don't see the likes. Oh, 6 likes. So 9 viewers and 6 likes. Please like the stream. Okay, so back to what I was working on. So we'll go back to the, oops, didn't do that. We'll go back to the terminal session. So now that we've installed the module, we have to configure it. Usually the instructions say to add it to the base configuration file, which is located here. And you would come in here and you would simply come down here to the bottom part and you would add it here. I don't like to do that. I actually like to add it into modules enabled, which is actually linked up here. I find it easier just to link it to a whole separate file, keep it separate. So we're going to go into Nginx modules enabled and make a new file called rtmp.conf. Now, I usually copy and paste this chunk of code for the previous install, but you could obviously copy and paste my code. You simply paste the RTMP module code here, the default, which basically says, okay, here's the RTMP section. You're going to make a server. It's going to list it on port 1935. That chunk size is going to be 4096. In this example, oh, sorry, hold on, I have a cough. And I just realized you can't see that the terminal session. How come?
I can't see you anymore either. This is what I see. Black screen.
Yeah, I see that now. I'm fixing that. Hold on. There you go. Now you can actually see what I'm working on.
I should have made you pay for that sign. Would have made a whole bunch of money.
Okay, so you can see the, I gotta resize that. That's what I'm gonna do. Please stand by.
I left your stream, sorry.
There we go. How's that? Okay, so back to what I was saying. So we have this configuration file. This, in general, allows for you to publish from the same server that you are on. We are going to publish from a computer, so I'm actually going to comment this out. And Tony's having, or Joe's having fun with your comments there, Haley.
Well, I gotta get back on.
So we're gonna chunk this, or comment. We're gonna chunk this. We're gonna comment this out. I'm sorry, and then we're gonna save this by hitting Control X and hitting save. And then what we have to do is restart the service. So it's sudo systemctl restart nginx.service, and it restarted successfully. So now what we could do is actually stream to this box using RTMP. So on a different computer, I have OBS set up, and I'm pointing at the server, and I am now streaming to that server from OBS on a different computer. But at this point, it's just RTMP. It doesn't actually really solve any issues. If I wanted to, on my VLC, but you can now see I could open up a new stream, RTMP to my box. And in this case, it's live test. And you'll see, well, you probably can't see it because this VLC is being weird, but I do see myself on my screen. Unfortunately, you can't see it on yours for some reason. So we go back to the MOBA-X term, which is what I use for my SSL client. And so now we're going to actually add HLS. So in order to add HLS, we need to make a directory for the content to be stored. I'm just going to use mount HLS. You can use whatever you want. It's up to you. And then we're going to go back to our RTMP config file, and we're going to make a couple changes. Let me go back to my notes real quick. And so you're going to scroll down here to under the application that says live, where it says live on and record off. We're going to make a new thing called HLS on. Then we're going to go to HLS path, and that's where we define our storage location. Then you need a HLS fragment. And in this case, we're going to do 4 seconds. You do a HLS playlist length. I do 12 seconds. You can obviously change this around. The more you change this, or the, this is where you could basically change kind of the delay, because I've noticed that if you make these fragments shorter, the delay is less. If you make a shorter playlist, it's less. However, you kind of run into buffering issues if you go too short, so don't go too short. And so now that we've added this little HLS stuff, we can actually hit Control X and save out of this. And then hopefully you still see my screen. So now we're going to do a restart of Nginx. Oh, I did something wrong. No, I didn't. It's working. So it took a while, but it worked. So now, if you go over to, or if we go over to the mount directory and you do an ls, you actually see that it created the test file, the little transport stream files, and the playlist file there. If we cat out the test file, you see that it basically just kind of points to the different segments, or what I call them chunk files. They're not, that's not the best name for them, but you could see that it did that. If we cat it out again, you see that it went from 3, 4, and 5 to 5, 6, and 7, and we do another ls, and you see there's more files now. So what HLS is doing is breaking up that RTMP stream into several small transport streams, and then using one index file or playlist file to point to those. So in theory, you should be like, yeah, we can play our HLS right now. Unfortunately, it's not shared out because it's making the HLS files, but you can't actually get to it yet. So we have to make one more change, and now this change I actually do make in the in the base configuration file. So by hitting the up arrow, I can actually go back to that base configuration file. Make sure you can see it. We're going to scroll down. And basically, right before the end of the file, oops, where'd it go? Where'd my mouse go? Oh. We're going to come in here, tab down, or hit enter a couple times, and we're going to copy this code over. I will share this code with you in the description after the fact. I'll share all my code that I've made. And so what this is doing is basically making a virtual directory or virtual location called /live, and then that actually points to the folder we made earlier. This is actually wrong. This should be mount.hls. So now this is going to say, for these file types, look for them here. So you save that file again, and then you restart Nginx, and hopefully there's no errors. Again, it's taking a while. Oh, I had an error. Oh, fun. What did I do wrong? Location /live. Did I not get that right? That's correct. That's correct. Did any of you see this? Oh, you know what it probably is missing is FFmpeg. I think you have to install that. Or maybe not. No, maybe you don't have to. I did do a walkthrough this beforehand, so I'm not quite sure. Oh, so Joe's asking what VM is this on? This is on XCP-ng. I really like XCP-ng. Hold on, I need a drink again. I'll have to cough. Sorry about that. So this is XCP-ng. I love XCP-ng because it's free, open source, and it allows you to have a live migration between servers, which is usually a feature that costs more money on most things. It also has a built-in backup tool, which I really do appreciate because I back up. My webcam's frozen again. This makes no sense. Anyway, I can show you XCP-ng real quick for here. It's Zen Orchestra. It's the former, I believe it's, I want to say CentOS, but no, Citrix product that they spun off as open source. And so I love this tool. Built-in backup tool is very nice. I do backups every 2 days and back up to my TrueNest box. And if I want to, restore them, it's really easy to come in here and hit refresh, click on a system, and hit restore. Super easy, super cool. I love it. Let's go back to terminal, and I believe Eric might be probably right in the fact that I probably do need a curly brace somewhere. So let me figure out where that is. Oh yes, you are right. Good catch. Still won't restart though. Oh boy, what did I do wrong? Let me look at my notes and see what I did. I actually don't have my notes in a curly brace there. Application. Is it a permissions issue? Let me go back to make sure I caught the chat up. No, because it can see the mount, or it can see the files being written. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. I have been with no audio for I don't know how long. Um, so what I did was I actually was modifying the config file, not the actual default site. So what you probably saw me could change was yeah. So hopefully I'm back now. Sorry about that, guys. So what I'm trying to do now, after making that last configuration file to the default site, not the config file for the Nginx, but the default site. Why can't you guys see it? I am just having one interesting night. Hold on, let me reset my camera again. What is going on with my webcam? There we go. I don't know what is going on. This has just been one interesting live stream, to say the least. Do you guys see and hear me now? I really hope you do. It looks like I see levels moving. I see video moving. Yeah, I'm betting it's OBS because this is the new version. It's 28.0.2. I updated it the other day after the first live stream, or the last live stream, I mean. I updated it, so maybe there's some bugs in this new version. I don't know. Maybe I just need to get a A10 mini. Maybe someone knows somebody who has one. um, it's funny you asked that. What do I get? I mean, I don't have a camera to use with an ATEM. I don't even have an ATEM. I mean, in theory, I have access to some things that could make it work. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a Christmas gift for myself. I don't know. So what was the last thing you actually heard? Was it the adding the location to the default config file or the default site? I believe that's probably where you were at. So we modified, hopefully, I'm sorry, let me go back to the terminal. But you can't see for some reason. I don't know why that keeps happening. There. So now we're going to modify the site's enabled default website configuration. You come down here, you add the location, which is wrong, which is probably why it's not working. So this points to where you are storing the HLS files. Save it, and then restart the service. Your live streaming will restart, and then now, if I did it right, this will be the media source. So it's HTTP, the website /live/test. In this case, is what my stream key is test. And there you see, it did work. So this is actually OBS from my other computer. Kind of delayed quite a bit, actually. If we do a clap on my other computer, see how long it takes for it to show up in the HLS. Oh, that's really bad. I've seen HLS be like a minute before. So, yeah, see, now we're just now seeing that. So that was probably, what, at least 45 seconds, maybe even a minute since I clapped on my other computer. But yeah, you could see now that it actually does work. That was an OBS stream to my virtual server in RTMP, being flipped to HLS, and then being played back in OBS on this computer as an HLS stream. And for those who, the URL, this was my internal URL, I'll post it in the chat here. But basically that gets you a URL like this. That then So that's the URL that I put into OBS and allows it to play the HLS stream. Again, that's the playlist file pointing to those little segments. So, any questions? Let's go back to the chat and see what people are thinking. Oh, I missed a lot. Well, I mean, most of that's the software back and forth. Yes, Joe, I agree. The version's probably buggy. It's got to be OBS. Nothing else has changed. It's the same computer, same camera, same everything. So I'm guessing it's OBS for sure. That's funny, Bob. Bob's not in the video, but even Bob knows what an ATEM is. Yep, Eric, I did see that. Yeah, the ATEM Mini Pros are $500, and you have to have a camera, which I have no camera of video kind, video or DSLR or like that, so I'd have to go get a video camera. So what are you referring to, Joe? I mean, it doesn't have to be 15 seconds or more. For HLS or for the playlist file, or I'm confused. Yeah, Toro, what I was saying is, yeah, the last stream, last Monday, I updated to OBS 28.01 right before the stream, and that's why I was late starting the stream. So then after that, I updated to 28.02 this week. Didn't notice any issues, but didn't do any long-term testing. Just kind of made it all work, and it was there. But apparently there's a problem when you go 30 minutes into a live stream and your camera decides to flip out. So maybe that's a bug, maybe not, I don't know. Haven't got the promotion yet. I'm in that job, but I'm not, officially promoted yet. So yeah, I guess I could spend some money. Haley, Joe says to spend money on my setup.
Only if I get front row seats to New Kids on the Block.
For those who couldn't hear, probably can't. She said that only if she gets to go see the New Kids on the Block.
Front row.
Front row. So here's what we need to do. We need to get my channel to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours so I can monetize this channel. Then I can actually put money back in the channel that makes sense because you can all give me money as part of my live streams. Deal? Cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that playlist file configuration, I've read that if you tweak the segment length and the playlist length, you can actually get it shorter. But if you go too short, then the buffer's not really there, and you could potentially have some issues playing the content out. There's a webcam with an HDMI out. That might be better than buying a full DSLR camera. Eric says it's a deal, so all you are now obligated. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. The has HDMI out. I will have to go look that up. I'm curious. Toro says we could just find some new kids on the block and have them perform that are, the neighbor kids. Does that work?
Negative.
She says negative. So I think she's meaning the
I'm Toro Loco. Like the bouncer truck.
she's doing the she wants to see the new kids from the 90s, I guess, not the new kids on the neighborhood. Weren't they in the 90s? 80s?
Get back to your stream before I knock it out of you.
Yeah, Joe, I remember that live stream where you guys gave Keith like $100. I do appreciate it, Toro. I think. Thank you. Neighborhood kids on the block will cost less than a Lumix. I'm sure it will. Um, so yeah, did that all make sense? I will post all the commands and a brief description of what we did in the description below. Uh, Probably not tonight, but I'll probably get to that soon. Oh crap! I have to go 5 more minutes, otherwise Joe will unsubscribe from my channel because Joe has a requirement that you stream for an hour. So, what do I talk about for 5 minutes? Anything? Joe says he actually has a GH5. I'll give you a good deal on. What is a GH5 even? Do I have a web browser? I do have a web browser. So OBS doesn't crash on that either. And it looks like it did. So there's definitely an OBS issue because I've had this browser configured for OBS for like ever and it just doesn't like it. So let's go look up, what does a GH5 cost? Oh wow, even used they're $900.
I can get front row seats for that and a backstage pass. 2 of them actually.
Haley would like to point out that for that price, she could have front row passes and a backstage pass, which I would tend to agree with. I mean, this is Amazon new, I'm sure, but so yeah, I'm actually curious. What would you guys recommend for a cheap HDMI camera? Keith says this is one of his favorite live streams. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I actually don't have a website or Discord channel. I just don't really have time for Discord, and not quite sure what I put on a website. I own several domains that I could use, and I was tempting, and please tell me if this is something that you would like to see. As I do more videos, I would like to post the instructions on a web page somewhere and link to the live stream as part of that article on the web page, hopefully promoting my YouTube channel. Probably something I should do. I mean, it probably generates some links, but I've heard from people that doesn't work very well, so I'm just curious what your thoughts are, but I probably should get a web page at least. Is that a bad thing, Duck? I don't know what that references. So here's the thing. So let's go look up this one. This Nexio? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Some YouTube videos about it. Where's the Amazon link? Or you send me the Amazon link. Can I click on that? No, I can't. So can you guys, yep, you can see that. Is it this one? No, that's the wrong camera. I'm not seeing it in the search. Huh. Amazon should probably fix their search because I can't find it. What if I did HDMI webcam? Or I could just find, I guess I could just type the Is that the one? Looks like, okay, so that's a $250 webcam. Does have HDMI, so that would definitely be the one you were referring to. I didn't know they actually made a webcam with HDMI out. Yeah, the problem was, Tony, is that that's on a different computer, and so I'm on a different computer. I had to type it in myself. 650 for a GH5. Does that include a lens, or is that just the body? I'm guessing the body. What's a Canon R10? I gotta go look up that. Canon R10. $1,000. Okay. Kind of like the bag, the kit bag kit here. Everything is included. You know, I did see the. He did mention the G7 last night or yesterday. Um, Kind of was looking at that one actually, because it's cool. Um, Not much of a DSLR person for me. I'm kind of a video guy. Like I like video cameras, so I could probably find a cheap video camera somewhere. Um, like in Aaron's stream, he was talking about the lighting, how he likes, how he didn't like the flat look, the lighting, and he liked the shadows and stuff. I'm more of a broadcast person. I like, key, fill, and backlight, 3-point lighting, as opposed to the YouTube style of just one light or maybe two lights. I know this is not the most well-lit stream ever, but this is just a setup at my desk in my office for now. We actually are redoing our basement here soon, so maybe I'll actually get a corner in the basement where I can set up a permanent setup with a real camera and lights, maybe someday. We'll see. Well, thanks for negotiating, Eric. I appreciate it. Now it's down to $600. GH5. Well, now if it's $600 with a lens, now we might be talking there. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is a lot of YouTubers use the DSLR for that low light performance because they don't want to light up their whole room like a professional studio, or they don't want to have the 3-point lighting. They want that dynamic look. I don't like the dynamic look. I think it looks kind of weird. It's not real. I mean, it is real, but it's not what I'm used to. If you see the lighting in a TV studio, how much light there is being cast on things, it's just kind of crazy. I guess that's what I'm used to. So, but we'll figure it out. I've officially gone more than an hour, so Joe will not unsubscribe from me, which is great. Always a risk when you go live. You don't want to lose subscribers. What is my actual count? Can I see the... So it looks like we still have 6 current viewers, 7 likes. We've had 22 views of the stream so far with an average view duration of 22 minutes. So I will wrap this up. I will thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. I truly do appreciate it. I thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I hope to see you again soon. So thank you for watching.